Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, distinguished delegates, partners, and friends of Africa, smallholder farmers, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. For 2 momentous days, we explored the landscape of opportunities for financing smallholder farmers. It's my great privilege and honor to stand before you to share the outcome and next steps of this conference. Some of the key facts we have heard these 2 days are smallholder farmers form 65% of the continent's population, and they are producing 80% of Africa's food. Thus, their well-being in all aspects, especially access to financing and necessary inputs, is a critical element of food sovereignty on the continent. We have engaged in informative, action-driven conversations with experts from various fields, including bankers, development partners, government ministers and officials, and farmers, mapping and diving deeper to understand the pathways to scale up and package simple and fast models for smallholder farmers in Africa. The excellent speakers and panelists have shared their stories and experiences to inspire us, to provide excellent opportunities for learning and to seek partnerships and collaboration. We have discussed solutions and actions to address smallholders farmers' challenges in agriculture, such as the need to close the 75 billion annual financing gap in agriculture, creating enabling environments, and climate-smart investments. Some of the simple truths include the need to do things differently, as outlined by the CEO of CRBD Bank in Tanzania, and ensuring that financial institutions become enablers, as well as segment financial products to meet the farmers' production cycles. In addition, we learned that efforts need to be made to address risk, reduce transaction costs, and reduce the cost of capital so that these advantages could be transferred to small-scale farmers. We showcased the different proven models that have worked in extending financing for smallholder farmers across the continent, such as the outgrower models in Nigeria, innovative commercial banking in Uganda and Tanzania, and digitally enabled input finance and insurance in Kenya, to name a few. This is proof that partners are innovating on models to address the financing gap for these farmers, and we are witnessing the green shoots of success. These models can work. They can be replicated in other countries and must be scaled up to reach 40 million smallholder farmers by the year 2030. The distinguished panelists have demonstrated the need for innovation and audacity for all of us to collectively resolve the problems. There is need for recalibrating agricultural financing and coming up with practical support. And we have identified 4 key outcomes and commitments for our joint efforts. The first commitment is to unlock the 75 billion financing gap with scalable solutions. While only 6% of Africa's farmers have access to credit, this conference has laid out bold solutions to reverse this trend. And the solutions are: 1, establishment of a new smallholder financing facility by the African Development Bank Group to leverage blended finance and risk-sharing mechanisms. The second solution is the public-private partnerships, PPPs, will be expanded to drive financing solutions beyond aid and into market-led investments. We heard of progress with regards to increasing efficiencies of the input subsidy program with regards to increasing efficiencies of the input subsidy program in Kenya, as outlined by the inspiring partnership between the government of Kenya, Apollo Agriculture, and Pula. National governments should commit to creating enabling environments through smart subsidies, guarantee funds, regulatory reforms to make markets work, and provision of production infrastructure. This is not just about capital. It is about de-risking smallholder agric farmers, unleashing capital, and making the sector a viable proposition for financial institutions. Secondly, we need to scale up proven financial models for smallholder farmers by, one, promoting risk-sharing facilities like those in Zambia under the Africa Emergency Food Production Facility, which have already catalyzed commercial bank lending to smallholders. We need to promote blended finance, which has mobilized private capital into agribusiness supply chains. And we also need to promote de-risking instruments such as risk insurance products targeting farmer associations and cooperatives. We also need to promote agri-tech digital platforms, which are linked with updated and reliable databases on assets owned by smallholder farmers, such as MasterCard Foundation's FarmPass, Hello Tractor, and Apollo Agriculture, which are lowering costs and expanding access. Lastly, we need to promote farmer aggregation models, such as the Better Life Farming Alliance and Babanguna, which have demonstrated how structured finance with a focus on capital, markets, and infrastructure, such as AFEX model, can reach rural producers at scale. The third identified outcome and commitment is there is need to unlock markets to reduce Africa's 100 billion food import bill. And we should target to do this by prioritizing local food production, by strengthening value chain financing and post-harvest infrastructure, also by expanding warehouse receipt systems and commodity exchanges to give farmers stable and transparent markets, and thirdly, encouraging investments in processing and agro-industrial zones to create higher value jobs and export opportunities. This is Africa's moment to reclaim food sovereignty and economic prosperity through a thriving farmer-led agricultural sector. Fourthly, the fourth outcome and commitment, strengthening climate resilience for African farmers is a present reality. We cannot continue to put this away. More than 70% of African farmers rely on rain-fed agriculture. Without climate-smart solutions, their livelihoods are at risk, and urgent solutions are needed. The African Development Bank will expand financing for solar-powered irrigation, regenerative agriculture, and crop insurance. Africa cannot afford to adapt slowly. We must act now. And we must all leave this conference with a collective commitment to transform smallholder agriculture, not through promises or discussions, but through tangible, bankable solutions that unlock capital, drive productivity, and strengthen resilience in the face of global shocks. Distinguished delegates, as President Adesina asked us before he left this morning, we need to hold our hands together around the large baobab tree to deliver and make it happen. Let us ensure that the commitments made here in Nairobi translate into real investments, real policies, and real impact. The African Development Bank is ready to do its part. Are you ready? Thank you. Asante sana. Nashukuru. Bon voyage. Et à la prochaine fois. Safe travels and see you next time.